has to want it. You know, they have to want it. It has to be their rock bottom. Now, Kelly Dodd, friends have come out. Emily, you know, from the show, Emily Simpson, you know, she's saying, I hope this is Tamra's Shannon's rock bottom. I don't know. It sounds like there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. And I mean, I agree with you. You know, also, I'm curious how her business is doing. The food kind of subscription box food delivery service or whatever she'd started. You don't hear much about that, I feel like, anymore. So I don't know. I wonder what's going on.
Couple of things I have to say. Well, first of all, I have had on many of the 80s celebrities, and a lot of them, like, I love interviewing a celebrity where part of the story is like, you know, I was a total drug addict and now I'm in recovery. Like Danny Bonaducci, Mackenzie Phillips, Corey Feldman. Now, I have to say, from interviewing all these, everyone should check out those interviews. From interviewing these people, I have learned that whatever you, the public, thinks. So I'm glad that Kelly Dodd is weighing in on this, but we don't know if this Shannon's rock bottom. Now, I've seen the video. You speed around, you crash in, you get out. It seems like rock bottom. You would be surprised. You would be surprised. Belinda Carlisle, lead singer of the Go-Go's, she left in Brazil, her 5-star hotel, to take a off-market cab into the jungle, into the middle of the jungle in Brazil, wearing God knows what, like Cartier, to buy coke. And she skipped a party at Rod Stewart's hotel room to go in her closet and do like a week. So, I mean, and that was not rock bottom. So it's like, and you could have died. You could have literally, they could have said, we're going to blow your head off and we're going to take all your money and you're not going to get the coke. What you think is someone's rock bottom, you just don't know. Now, I would think this is Shannon's rock bottom, but to your point, if you don't want it, like, that's why I really related to what, well, I agree with everything Nene, shocking. I'm not against Nene just because I think her lawsuit was bogus. We're going to talk about that soon. But you know what, like Nene said in that recent interview she did about her son, you know, and like, it's true. You can't force someone into a program. All you can do is sit around and offer support, and just, you cannot change and get someone into a program if they don't want to be there. So I love that Kelly and Jeff and all these people that watch OC Housewives think this is Shannon's rock bottom. The video was scary. I'm not sure this is her rock bottom. Only Shannon can answer that. You know what I mean? Only Shannon can answer that.
Look, I've never met her. I hope Jeff and clearly Kelly, they know her. You know, Kelly says that Kelly and Rick showed up to John's house. John wouldn't let them see Shannon. Nobody wanted to see Shannon. Apparently, the lacerations on her face, she was cut, are so bad she may need a form of plastic surgery. Well, you're in the right state, you know. I mean, Lord, there's a plastic surgeon on every corner here. So she's in good shape there. But I hope they're right. You know, I hope they're right that she doesn't really have a problem, and that this is like John has become this overwhelming influence. I can't remember what story I read, but I basically read somebody said that John and Shannon have never really been broken up. They pretend that for the show, but it's
that. Emily, I think
years. I think Emily it was Simpson. Emily too. 3 or 4 years, and they've really never broken up. They've always been together. I don't know. I mean,
well, you know what the other thing is, like, as far as Kelly showing up, because Kelly has a lot to say, and I'm not coming for Kelly. I mean, she'll definitely, you know, now say something about me, but I don't, go ahead. I mean, I'm not getting into a spat with you, girl. Like, you know, she says Vicky's a good friend and Tamara's a bad friend. Well, look, you like Vicky and you hate Tamara. So let's take what Kelly's saying as a grain of salt. Also, I'm sorry, you know, Shannon just on Watch What Happened said what she said about, you know, Kelly, and so did the owner of The Quiet Woman, and Vicky kind of jumped to her defense. Kelly went on a tirade against Shannon. Now, I imagine when this happens in life, you put all that aside. But look, maybe consciously or subconsciously, when you're knocking on the door, Kelly, I don't blame John for not letting you see Shannon. You just hated her, and you actually have something called a podcast. I mean, your podcast is not as big as Behind the Velvet Rope, but you have a podcast. So, you know, this isn't Shannon's like a best friend in the world. So when John is thinking in the back of his mind, like if David Yontef shows up, you know, at Teresa Giudice's house because something happened and I'm not let in, I don't blame you because whatever I see, I'm going to talk about here. So I really don't blame John for, I mean, I understand maybe this Kelly and, I understand maybe this could reset that friendship and make amends, but we're not quite there yet. And when Shannon's in the bed with all bruises, you mean to tell me, Kelly, you're not going to talk about that on your podcast? You are. So when John says, please don't come in, I don't blame the guy. You're not exactly her best friend. You just hated her 2 days ago. And maybe this could set you to the road. If Jeff shows up, I guarantee you, Jeff will be able to see Shannon. And I guarantee you on his show, Jeff will not reveal very confidential information for his friend. Right?
Would you think? Well, it's interesting you brought that up. How do you feel about that? I mean, so many of Shannon's quote unquote friends, I'm talking Jeff Lewis, Kelly Dodd,
Vicky.
Vicky, but there's also been some other podcasters, like bloggers, I guess, that are kind of friendly with her, and they all post, recently seen her. I'm going to have an update. Like, how do you feel about that? I mean,
see that. Well, I'll tell you how I feel about that, because people could say,
they are using her for ratings. I don't want to make a big, I don't think I want to die on this rock because,
because you would do the same thing, girl.
Probably. I don't want to die on this hill because, like, I don't know, if something happened to you or whatever, or vice versa, I mean, we'd probably be giving updates every week.
Excuse me. Let me just cut you off. This is intentional. You did a tell-all on the Sarah Fraser show about working with David Yontef. So, the proof is in the pudding, sweetheart. You just did a tell-all about whether I pay you and whether I let you take bathroom breaks and all other bullshit. So, yeah, sweetheart. But listen, I am really not a thirsty person like that. Do I use things? And yeah, like when I was with Margaret now, I had a recent phone call with Margaret, which I'm going to be talking about on Patreon.
Oh my God, that's a good one.
That's coming to Patreon.
What?
I think maybe
because by the way, when I did my tell all about you, that was like the big thing. People would slide in my DMs and they're like, it started with Margaret. He used her. And then now he's not friends with her. He does this with every woman. So, wow.
Let them say it all, baby. I mean, you know what? You know what the thing is? Well, I just spoke to her. You know what the thing, I'm going to talk about it on Patreon. By the way, we had our biggest weekend this past weekend on Patreon. I did a tell-all on the Gorga's housewarming, someone that attended the Gorga's housewarming. It was a reliable source. I literally revealed everything that happened. So go to our Patreon. We truly had our best weekend in almost a year with people who knew that I didn't plant this person there. Yeah.
This was your first solo Patreon, right? Or you went solo on, okay.
Sarah, look, there's no, people are so confused. They're like, we like Catherine. Catherine isn't going anywhere. Someone even said, will you ever have Sarah back? Sarah hasn't gone anywhere. People have been asking for years and years and years if I would do the solo stuff like you do, like everyone else does. I avoided it. I explained on Patreon why I avoided it. You convinced me to finally do it, and it was a huge hit. It was honestly, Sarah, it was our biggest weekend yet on Patreon. So thank you for convincing me to go solo. But everyone is still in the mix. Catherine, wait. I have something else to say. I know. I always have something else to say. But listen, you guys know I've been having a lot of digestive issues lately. I've shared that with all of you throughout the past few weeks. I share a lot with you guys. But you know what I didn't know? I didn't know that these digestive issues were caused by potential toxins that are in these quote unquote healthy foods. I thought I was eating right. Oh my gosh. I have learned so much. We've been hearing about, these healthy foods for years, right? Well, this potential toxin causes digestive issues, according to Dr. Gundry. He's a world's renowned cardiologist. And the harmful condition is affecting millions of people nationwide. It was affecting me. Now, here's the thing. There's so many warning signs that I now saw that I didn't realize. Weight gain, hello. That's all I talk about with you guys. Fatigue, digestive discomfort, stiff joints. I've even had skin problems. And, listen, I'm not a spring chicken. So I just personally thought that all these things were happening because I was getting older. Well, Dr. Gundry explains that these side effects are often mistaken for normal signs of aging. Now I know. So listen, I can assure you that the damage is probably caused by these healthy foods, and it's far from normal. The good news is you can easily help fix the problem from your own home. It's very simple. You just have to know which foods are actually healthy and which contain this hidden potential toxin. It's that simple. So you can find this for yourself at gutcleanseprotocol.com/velvet. That's gutcleanseprotocol.com/velvet. You can just click on the link in the description below this video. Because after years of research, Dr. Gundry has decided to release an informative video to the public free. It's free and uninterrupted. You guys have to watch this, showcasing exactly which foods you need to avoid. Go to the video, gutcleanseprotocol.com/velvet. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I know this is reality TV, but this really, really has changed my life. Click on the link below. Bye.